Hello sir, my name is Shubham Dokade. My roll number is 171. Today we present the constitutional mandate prohibition of employment of children in factories in India. The fundamental aspect of human rights and protecting EU labor laws. Introduction to Article 24 mandate. The Constitution of India explicitly prohibits the child labor. Key principles to safeguard the children from the exploitation of hazardous work for this health.
My name is Shravani Joshi. My roll number is 174. Second, express prohibition, Article 24. In Article 24, no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine or engage in any of the hazardous employment.
Start.
My name is Sujay Powar. My roll number is 173. The topic is scope of the problem in factories and mines. In this Article 24, the main focus is that in factories and mines, child labor are not allowed. Refer to 14 years minimum. 1 to 14 years is not allowed in any factories, and 14 to 18 are allowed in minimum factories. But the age limit of 14 to 18 is that 14 to 18 year children are not allowed in hazardous factories, and some factories are allowed.
Start. Hi everyone, I am Vishwanath Keshav Kulkarni. Today our topic is child labor. So let me discuss what are the key challenges and compliances on the child labor act. So first one is the poverty, which is main thing which can affect on the child labor, and that is directly proportional to the increase of child labor or decrease of child labor. How this poverty can affect, let me discuss. To discuss that, we have assume some proportion. Let me assume proportion of the population and proportion of the land. If these two factors can affect on the economy of the country and also the education of country. So these two factors are most important in the child labor act. First one is the proportion of the population and proportion of land. This can affect directly on the economy of the country. Okay. If there is high proportion of the population with respect to the proportion of land, then there will be very low resources available in this country. So that's why there is very low chances to generate the jobs, because jobs are basically generated from this land resource. For example, if we use the land resource, then we can create the any type of fields such as education institutes and the factories, foundries, etc. That means if we have to grow in education economy, then we have to be available excess amount of this land resource, and thus this land and population proportion affect on the economy of India or any country. And second proportion is that proportion of population with respect to the proportion of the jobs. If we consider our India, our population has grown up to 130 plus CR. Then, if population is 130 plus CR and we have very low land resources, then there will be very low chances to get all of the people in higher level education. That's why we are lacking higher level quality education. Now, second factor is the enforcement gaps. As in our country, there is 3 stages. First one is the legislative for make laws, and second one is the executive, which is responsible for the enforcement is laws, and third one is the judiciary system. As child labor is created on the legislative assembly, and second, judiciary is only for giving justice to this law, and third most important is the executive. If executive has strong, then our Child Labor Act should be enforced in all over the India. And there are some compliances. Absolute ban means below 14 there is no any child should work on these factories or any other chemical hazardous factories. And up to 14 to 18, the child can be able to work in any factory except the chemical hazardous companies. Thank you.
My name is Vivek Mirekar. I am explaining presented and constitutional obligation all including child labor in fact obligations state as citizen duty to ensure article number 24 is upheld. The punishment of child labor is fines. The fine can be made at 20,000 to 50,000. Imprisonment example 6 months to 2 years of jail and business closing.